ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान पॉडकास्ट है।
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is News and Current Affairs channel of Radio Pakistan. I'm your host Javed Siddiq with weekly program Diplomatic Session. Listeners and viewers, in this program we discuss bilateral relations, cooperation and other important developments of mutual interest with the diplomats of Pakistan's friendly countries and regional and international blocs. Today in our show, we have the Ambassador of the Republic of Korea to Pakistan, His Excellency Sangpyo. This show is being broadcast simultaneously from News and Current Affairs channel of FM 101 networks of Radio Pakistan every Saturday at 6:15 p.m. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us in this show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
And you're welcome.
Yeah.
Ambassador, Pakistan and Republic of Korea have had diplomatic relations for decades.
Yeah, sure.
And Korea has been a development partner of Pakistan. How do you look at this relationship, which is decades old?
Yeah, our relation started since 1960s. At those days, we learned a lot from Pakistan government. For example, in 1960s, Korean government started a 5-year economic development plan. That plan, the Korean government benchmarked Pakistani development plan. And also, since then, our relation had been good. So many in 1970s and 80s, many Korean tourists visit Pakistan. Because Pakistan is home to the Buddhism.
Yes.
Also, Korean Buddhism comes from Pakistan. That area is Swat Valley and Texla. So in 1970s, 80s until 1990s, many Koreans visited. Sometimes we used charter flight to come to Pakistan.
So this is religious tourism.
Oh yeah, but religious tourism, some of them visit northern area, but at those days it's difficult to reach that. But even though in those days, I was told that some Koreans they risked to go to northern area, even though that the road condition was bad. Anyway, that before the 2000, our relation was very good. Even the LG company and Daewoo, they invest here. But as you know that every people knows that after 2000 year, Pakistan image was a little went back bad. Means that
because of terrorism.
Yeah, terrorism.
Yes.
Yeah. So many Korean companies they move out from this country. So since then, our relation just stand still. I mean that not so decreasing, but not so increasing.
Right.
Until a couple of years ago. But you know that Pakistan become a very very good and very excellent country for the investment, and the situation is getting better. So since a couple of years ago, Korean investment is increasing.
Increasing in Pakistan.
Yeah, in Pakistan.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm very and also that bilateral trade volume not so big. You know, Korean overall trade volume over the world more than $1 trillion US dollar.
Yes.
But
I think only one company, Korean company, Samsung, is earning more than $300 billion annually.
Yeah, surely. And also, only a bilateral volume between Pakistan and Korea $1 billion. That means the 0.1% of total volume of Korean trade volume over the world. So I guess that this is a right time to increase it, trade volume and investment between the two countries.
Ambassador, you mentioned the cooperation between Pakistan and Republic of Korea. People of Pakistan remember Korea as a country which invested and began to invest in Pakistan's infrastructure projects. For instance, Islamabad-Lahore expressway or motorway was built by Koreans. And it's a huge investment. It's a landmark investment in Pakistan. So does Korea contemplate or think to invest more in Pakistan's infrastructure projects?
As you told, the motorway between Lahore and Islamabad, it was built in 1990s, before the 2000. Since then, there are no new investment from Korea to Pakistan. But right now, in energy sector, right now, 2 hydropower plants are already have been built and operating their plant, and they are producing electricity and distributed that electricity to the Pakistani home. And also we are 3 investment project in energy sector. I mean that the hydropower sector. So in total, our investment in hydropower sector, $4 billion. So that's a very huge increasement currently. So I hope that that trend will go on, and we will see that more investment from Korea.
In the energy sector, yes, Korea has invested hugely in Pakistan. And you have mentioned these 2 hydropower projects. One is in Kashmir.
Already operating 2 hydropower plants. 2 are all in the Jammu and Kashmir area.
Yes.
2. One is
Azad Kashmir.
Azad Kashmir. 2 plant already operating is in.
And they are producing electricity.
Electricity.
Yes.
So that's Gulpur and Patrind, and new 3 hydropower plant project is in KPE.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa
area.
So, Ambassador, because Pakistan needs more energy for its economic development, so the Koreans have the experience of completing these 2 important hydropower projects. Will Korea invest more in Pakistan in this field, in the energy sector?
You think about that. We have done 2 hydropower plant projects in Jammu and Kashmir, and then we start a new 3 projects. So if the additional 3 new hydropower projects are going successfully, I guess why not we invest more in the energy sector, in the hydropower sector.
And coming back to your original statement about Korea-Pakistan economic relations back in 60s, can Pakistan now learn? Because then Korea learned from Pakistan's 5-year plan. But now can Pakistan learn from Korean experience? Because Korea has made huge progress in the field of economy and trade. Surely
we are cooperating in several areas to cooperate the development process. So, for example, we have a KOICA program. We have currently 5 KOICA projects that focus on sometimes in IT sector. They focus on the, producing the purified water. So that also some of the program we have the education for the young girls. So in KOICA program normally is the grant program. So they are helping that basic training courses and training program. And we have another development program between two countries. We call it EDCF, Economic Development Cooperation Fund. That we give $1 billion for 5 years. Recently, when the finance minister delegation has came to Pakistan,
yes.
They committed $1 billion fund from 2022 to 2025.
Right.
Some of program is building the IT park in Pakistan. Yeah.
In Islamabad.
Yeah, and also they had a MOU with your concerned relevant authority. Another one in Karachi. So technological, and also the the 2 months ago, our rural development administrator, he's in charge of agricultural technology cooperation. He came to Pakistan because that we have agricultural technology cooperation program in Pakistan. Since 2 years ago, we set up the COPIA, we call it COPIA office here. We are transporting the technological technology for the potato seed production. So that project is very successful. We think that potato seed production right now in Pakistan, they are short of the potato seed, but if our technological transfer program is successful.
Ambassador, Pakistan is an agriculture country basically, but in the last few years, our agriculture production has not been very good, and Pakistan needs more technological knowledge and needs to research in this field so that our agriculture production increases. So as you said that Korea is helping Pakistan increase its agriculture production and sharing the technology. So will it continue to do so in future because Korea is too advanced in agriculture technology?
As I said that the Korean high-level delegation came for agricultural technology transfer. That the administrator of the rural development of Korea, he paid a visit to Prime Minister Imran Khan.
Yes.
He asked us to do more agricultural technology transfer program. So one of the program we are starting is that the small farm machinery program. And so Korea will work with Pakistani concerned authorities, exactly PAC, Pakistan Agricultural Research Center. We are doing
with PARC.
Yeah, PARC.
Pakistan Agriculture Research
Center. Yeah, we are doing additional and another agricultural technology transfer program. So we are huge program between two countries right now.
Yeah, but Pakistan needs to increase its wheat production and rice production and cotton production. So can Korea help Pakistan in discovering more seeds, hybrid seeds or those kind of seeds which can yield more production in Pakistan?
For example, maybe you heard of the fodder crops. In the winter season in Pakistan, especially in northern area, they are short of the fodder crop for the animals. So we start a new project raising the fodder crops. If that project is successful, we can provide that fodder crop in northern area of Pakistan. It will help to the family for raising cow and some
for animals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the cooperation between the Korean government or the Korean agencies with the Pakistan Agriculture Research Council, can it discover or can it find out new seeds, new types of seeds, so that the agriculture production is increased, because our population is huge.
Yeah, maybe there will start another program, but when I visit park, already you have a good technology for the seed. So some seed is very good for the Korea also. So when I visited a park with a Korean agricultural delegation, they would like to cooperate with Pakistani authority, I mean that the park, to the more cooperation on seed, agriculture seed. It's a good project.
Yes, new seeds.
Yeah, new seed. And
yes.
Pakistan also has good technology on that. We are surprised to see that.
Okay.
But it has huge potential to cooperate between the two countries on the agricultural
When it comes
side.
to agriculture, Pakistan has a problem of water management. Some of the water is wasted, during irrigation. So can Korea help Pakistan in the water management sector in agriculture?
I already told that we have KOICA program, Korea Development Agencies, cooperation agencies. They have a couple of programs. And one program amounts to $10 million set up the water producing plant in some area. We receive the water from the sky, and we hold and we use. So that technology, I don't know exactly.
It's a very advanced technology.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you say that through that project, we don't waste that any water from the heaven, from the sky.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of projects in two, I think, in Punjab and one in KP.
Yes. Mr. Also, Korea is helping Pakistan in the IT sector. As you have mentioned that Korea is going to set up the IT park in Pakistan. So this project is going on, or it has been completed, or at what stage this program is?
Yeah, IT park project is we make some facilities, we make some hardware. So it takes, I think, 2 or 3 years to build up that IT park in Islamabad and IT park in Karachi.
Yes.
But before that, we had a cooperation between two countries, IT education program. So we tried to set up a university level institute here. So from private sector, recently I received some Koreans. They are establishing a university. It's called the Pakistan Global Institute. That will be established near Islamabad. That university is built in private sector by Koreans. Department all are involved in related with IT. So they're gonna bring that professors from Korea to here, and
to
they
train Pakistani IT students.
So,
Yeah, that's great. I think so.
Yeah, that's the private sector, and we are in governmental side. We are also talking about that. We have a KAIST, very good Korean National Technology University. Bring them in Islamabad. So recently we are talking with the task force under the Prime Minister office. So, but it takes time. But it's very important. We have a cooperation in software part in IT industry, and then IT park is a hardware sector. So we are increasing the cooperation in IT sector, because that Pakistan has a huge potential. Huge
because our population is very young
and
they can be trained in the IT sector. And they can this trained manpower could be exported to other countries as well.
Yeah, very exact. So that's why Korea is interested in the working and cooperate with Pakistan in IT sector.
The other important area is the auto sector. Some time back, the Korean companies were interested in investing in Pakistan. And I think the people are seeing the cars, Korean cars, now plying on Pakistani roads. So the cooperation in auto sector is again in full swing.
So I was told that Kia Motor, they are selling their car a lot in Pakistan, but at this moment, investment from Kia Motor is not so huge. They set up the joint venture with a Pakistani company.
Pakistani company, yes. It's a joint venture.
Joint venture. So they don't invest. I mean that they don't start direct investment, because that in auto industry there are some threshold. I was told that when the selling of Kia Motors car more than 40,000 car is over the threshold. It's time to increase direct
the number of cars.
Yes.
So
right now I was told that already 20,000. So in this trend continue, I guess why not Korean auto company like Kia and Hyundai? They don't make a huge.
Hyundai has also started producing cars in Pakistan.
Same like a joint venture.
Yes.
But to set up the huge factory need direct investment from Hyundai and Kia Motors.
You mentioned the volume of trade between Pakistan and Korea. What are the areas where Pakistan and Korea can increase the trade so that that it goes up, and Pakistan and Korea both have the potential to increase this?
Currently, Korea export auto part to
Pakistan.
To Pakistan, and some mobile phone and some electronic appliance, and Pakistan export to Korea textiles and leather products and
leather goods, surgical as well, surgical instruments.
Auditor, and also but for agricultural product very advantageous product from Pakistan to Korea, but need some of special agreement for the agricultural goods. Anyway, that only we think that from Pakistan to Korea just textile and leather goods, but if the Korean investment increase, for example, mobile phone, Samsung Electronics in Pakistan, they are right now setting assembly line in Karachi. They want to produce the Samsung mobile phone in Pakistan. In that case, why not they can sell back to the Korea? So Currently, Pakistan just sell the textile and leather goods to Korea, but when the huge investment came to Pakistan from Korea, the Pakistan can sell any product to Korea back. And also a third country. That's the investment is very important.
Samsung company is a very popular. It's a popular cell phone. It's a brand. So they have set up their
assembly line
in Karachi. They have started producing this Samsung cell phone.
Not yet. Their plan is by December. They complete. Established
by this December.
This December, and then they're going to start producing in mobile phone in Pakistan. If the plans goes well, their plan is a year they're going to produce 3 million unit of a mobile phone in Pakistan.
Right.
But we are watching for that.
So when the Korean companies, auto companies, or this cell phone companies, they start producing in Pakistan, they can have a market, they can have access to the Central Asian market as well. Through Pakistan.
Right now, 2 countries, mobile phone company are working in Pakistan and producing the mobile phone in Pakistan. One is, you should know that China, and right now Korea is starting. Chinese mobile phone is good, and but Samsung mobile phone world reputation is excellent.
It's a global market. It has a global market.
So when the Samsung mobile phone producing here, it's very easy to sell to. Not even to Central Asian country, to Europe and other countries.
Exactly. Ambassador, you mentioned a while ago the cooperation in the field of education between Pakistan and Korea. As you have said that Korea is setting up with private sector, they are setting up a university, IT university.
And also government sector trying to make some university institute here. But it takes some time.
Right.
But the private sector already, they are established.
How about sending Pakistani youth or young people for training to Korea in the field of automobile, in the field of IT, and these kind of sectors in which Korea is very advanced?
We have 2 kind of cooperation with Pakistan. One is surely university level. Currently 1,500 Pakistani young people are studying in Korean university.
Pakistani students.
Yes. Their majors, most of their majors are IT and technology area. And for the scholarship, government scholarship is not so much. I mean that only 20 Pakistani university students benefit that Korean Global Korea scholarship, but most of the Pakistani students, they get the scholarship from the university by themselves. So recently it was a little tragical situation because due to the pandemic, right now around 200 Pakistani students cannot enter the Korea. So I checked that list, and most of them already get the scholarship from Korean university.
Yes.
So
have they gone, or they're thinking or planning to go?
They should go, but they are waiting for the lessening the COVID-19 SOP in Korea. That's one part of technological and training cooperation with Korea. And we have another one. We have E9 system. We every year up to 1,000 Pakistani workers. We bring them to Korean companies. They learn how to work in the company, and they contribute to producing the product in Korea. So Pakistani workers' labor has a good quality, so they are welcomed Korean companies. So not even the training process, they can get the salary.
Yeah, sometime back, Pakistan had started exporting the manpower to Korea. But then, it scaled down. Is there a possibility to increase the export of Pakistani youth, especially the skilled youth in the IT sector and other sectors, to go to Korea and work there? What are the prospects?
Yeah, right now all the preparation are ready. That means that all the requirements are ready. It means that Pakistan has the good quality of laborers and very willingness to work in Korea and something like that. But we need, so we are increasing that numbers, but to increase very dramatically, we need some kind of arrangement. I mean that, in our system is only the unskilled worker with training and then work
in the Korean companies, yes.
But for the skilled laborers, we need some arrangement, something like free trade agreement and something like that. We are still working on that free trade agreement between the country. So we need to speed up that process, and I think that the prospects are very bright to increasing that labor exchange and something like that between the two countries.
So which other fields are there for the two countries, Pakistan and Korea, to increase and enhance their cooperation?
Tourism. Tourism is the most important part. Agriculture and tourism and IT and motor energy. There are many, but the tourism is I think that the most promising and imminent rewarding can come. So recently, Korea and Pakistan signed an MOU to promote Buddhist heritage in Pakistan. So recently I met the secretary of Pakistani tourism, but exactly cultural heritage division.
Yes.
We agreed to speed up our cooperation in the case that we make good for the any kind of Buddhist cultural heritage that can induce the more tourists from Korea and also other country. So that's the very good point to increase the tourist exchange between the country.
Yeah. Religious tourism is very promising, yes. And Koreans are obviously interested in these historic places like Texla and other, where this Buddhist stupas and all these things are found. So will Korea help Pakistan in increasing and facilitating more tourists to come and visit these religiously important places?
It's a two-way cooperation possible. One is ongoing. I mean that MOU to promotion of Buddhist heritage MOU that can make that a good sightseeing place for Buddhist heritage. The other one is last week I visited Skardu. So I took the flight from Islamabad to Skardu. But it was good because that no flight were cancelled at the time. But when I tried to visit Gilgit and Hunja last July for tourism, but whole the week my flight cancelled. I couldn't go there.
But because of weather.
Because weather. So I decided to go to Gilgit through by road. So I took my car. Go to the road by the road. After 2 hours later, very short road, and I stopped by that Naran. I couldn't go up. So one is cooperation, make the good infra. I mean that the motorway from here to there. That would be good cooperation for the tourism also, because with that road connection, more tourists can reach that.
More Korean tourists can come and visit Pakistan.
Yeah, and
I think the government of Pakistan, particularly the Prime Minister, is focusing on increasing the number of tourists from various parts of the world, and especially from Korea.
Because in 2019, President of a very huge Korean Buddhist sector, he visited here, and he promised to send Buddhist pilgrimage tourists to this country. But the project totally stopped due to the pandemic. But I would like to restart the project. In the case, we can invite a very huge number of Korean tourists to this country.
Let's hope that this COVID-19 goes off, and the tourism, particularly the tourists from Korea, religious tourists from Korea, can come in big number to Pakistan.
Surely, I hope that also.
Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us in this program. Listeners and viewers, this is all with today's show in Diplomatic Session. Next week, we'll have with us a new personality. The producer of today's program was Saeed Ahmed, video engineer Waqar Javed, and executive producer Abdul Rauf Khan. This show is also available on Radio Pakistan's official website, www.radio.gov.pk, social media platforms, and Radio Pakistan's podcast at podcast.radio.gov.pk. I'm your host, Javed Siddique, signing off from today's Diplomatic Session from News and Current Affairs channel of Radio Pakistan, Islamabad. Thank you so much. Ambassador, it's been very kind of you that you have joined us in this program. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान पॉडकास्ट है।